All right, so welcome back, guys. So, in my convalescent, or whatever you want to call it, in my recovery time, I'm going bananas. I got to do something. So, I have to take these 1 inch square Neomags out and weigh them because this rotor was unbalanced. And it was funny because when I had them facing out north, south, it was fine. But when I placed them in north, south, that's when it got unbalanced. So RD3DP told me to weigh them, put the, you know, closest ones on the opposite, so forth and so on. So I had to take it out. And in doing so, I thought, you know what? I can't do much out here, but I can sit at the computer and design some new rotors to use these. So I designed one that has 4 of the square mags, and it'll go together like this with a bearing and a bearing. And then I designed another one that was bigger. I got to take that out. And it fits good. And these poles actually go through these holes. And I thought I had measured it correctly so that when I put it together like this, it would seat perfectly and they would come level, but they don't. They come up about 5 centimeters too high, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. Oops. So I'm going to try and take this apart without killing myself and getting those 1 inch square mags out and put them in here. I designed another rotor to have 5, but I realized that's not going. I just said, no, I'll just do these 2. So I got to get this out of here. This is the support stuff. I got to get that out of there. It comes right out. And I'll see if I can put this guy together. See, it sits in like that. And then this goes on top of here like that. That has a recess in there as well. And it goes on there like that. And it fits down on there. So I'll try that. And I'll probably do it in my vertical stand that I have right now I have the big mag from the RD3DP Newman motor in there. I'll probably do it in that stand. I could do it in either of those 3 stands. That one needs to be fixed though. You can see the top part broke off. But I'll use that stand because that stand seems to be the best. But I'm a little apprehensive taking these apart, taking these out of here because they are powerful. But we'll see. Stay tuned. All right, so continuing on with this guy, you can see how it's encapsulated, how the 1 inch square Neo mags are encapsulated. I have the bearing, thank you, and then the posts that are coming up from the bottom housing. I didn't measure it correctly, so I decided to build a cap that fits down over this, and it's pressure fitted so it'll lock in there. But of course, as sometimes happens, I forgot that the bearing, I only made the recess for the bearing 6 millimeters when it should be 7. I forgot to put the recess in there. Now, unlike acrylic or wood, you can use something like a Forstner bit to carve out that space, plop it on, it'd be done. You really can't do that with PLA. You can, but it would come out real messy. because this is not a solid piece of plastic. It's 25% infill. And most people don't even go up to 25%. They go to 10, 5, but I like 25%. And if I tried to make this solid, it would take forever to print this. So I just printed out another one, put the recess in there, and now it'll fit on here. Oh, I've got to deburr the holes first, but it'll fit on there, something like that. I got to deburr the holes though. Normally it will fit on like, come on, like that, and it will snug all the way down, be a nice pressure fit. So yeah, let me deburr this, and then I've got the cutout there for the bearing, and I put a bearing on the other side there too. Let me deburr this, get it snapped together, and we shall see. Like I said, while I'm recovering from this thing, and it does hurt, I got to be careful. I can't just sit there and do nothing. I don't want to run a bunch of old ones. And I'm going to use, I don't know if you guys remember, the original RD3DP Newman motor. I made a small prototype, but I wound some really nice coils for it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these coils to power this guy, because I haven't used these coils for anything else, and they're really nice. The coils came out really beautiful, you can see. So I'll use those to power this guy in my vertical rig. So stay tuned. So that locked down in there really good. There's no way that's coming off. And if I want to bring the rotor up to high speed, what I can do is I can get a larger size screw and just screw down inside there. But it should be okay. It's going to have a shaft running through it as well. So I'll be all right with that. Yeah, that's going to be really nice. I've already checked it, and it rotates perfectly, nice and aligned. I've got this smaller one that I want to do too. This one doesn't have any holes that go through it. It just butts up against it. So it's not as secure as this guy, but it'll be all right. I was going to design this to have cutouts in here like that, and I thought, I'm just trying to get something quick together. And there's the RD3DP zero force motor, which is really nice. I love that motor. Here's the coils in there. They're wobbly now because they sit, these little ends here. Oops, can't see it. These little ends here sit in these slots. Anyway, let me see if I can get this guy going. Get over the vertical stand. What I may do though is, I can't. Oh yes, I can. What I may do is I may turn that one. Here, let me fix this thing. I may turn that one stand right there that I broke the top piece. I think you can see it's broken. I may shave that off, put a platform on there, screw it down, and run that as a vertical. But I'll have to put a center one in there as well. I don't know. I've got the other stand. It's already set up, so I may just do that one. All right, stay tuned. So I just noticed another error. So even though this will spin on the shaft like that, it's really tight. I thought I gave enough clearance in this and in the hole that I printed. I mean, it'll be okay. It doesn't really matter because it's going to sit in two more bearings, a bearing up here and a bearing down here. So the whole shaft can spin with the device. But I was kind of hoping, but I mean, it's 6 1/2, half a dozen the other. Like I said, the vertical stand I have over there has a top and lower bearing, and then the magnet repulsive magnet will sit right here in its little holder and sit up against the other magnet. So it's no big deal. Anyway, I thought I'd just share that. Ciao. So really quick, I was just looking. I just stood this up in here just to keep it. Here's the 2 coils that I took out of the prototype Newman motor. These coils came out beautiful. I think I used 23 gauge wire in these, whereas in the big Newman motor, I used the ones that are over there. I used 20 gauge or 20 gauge. But I was looking at this and I thought, I could print out another one of these, maybe a little bit bigger, but the same exact thing, but put a bearing in there and then print out a couple of side panels of some sort, and then use an acrylic top or even a 3D printed top. I'll have to think about that. So I may not be running this thing today. Well, today for me, for you guys, it'll be instantaneous. But yeah, I think that'll be kind of cool. A little self-sustained system. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back. I should stop saying that, because even though it's been hours for me, it's only been seconds for you guys. Not even seconds, it's instantaneous. Anyway, I built a platform out of acrylic, and I 3D printed these stands, which are going to get mounted here, and then I'm 3D printing a plate that'll go there. I 3D printed this base, and it has a metal ball in the bottom of it. So when I put this guy, when I put this guy in here, it sits on the metal ball and spins beautifully. And so this will go here. Another one will go here, here, and here. And then there'll be a round plate up here with a bearing in it to hold this in place. Yeah. I may have to get a longer shaft, but it should work out okay. So I'm going to use, like I said before, I'm going to use these coils. I have to figure out where I'm going to put these coils. Probably, since these are going to go here, I can mount the coils up like this. I was going to put like a platform going all the way around to stiffen this up. And then I can even mount the coils on top of the platform. Something like that. But I wanted the whole thing to be 3D printed, except for the base. I need the base to be nice and strong. So yeah, that should work now. So I've got the platform printing out. It's 180 centimeters in circumference or diameter. And yeah, that should work. So once again, stay tuned. All right, guys, so I've got this set up. I've got this screw down. It's in the center of this plexiglass plate. Got the ball bearing in there at the very base there to sit on the end of this rod. It'll go in there like that, which will allow it to spin freely. So I was going to put 4 of these up like this. One like that. One back here like this. And then one right here like this. And then I was going to put this guy on top here. I was going to put these on these little hockey puck pads. I was going to put those on there. They were going to see if I can get it in there without messing it all up. Anyway, you get the idea. And then I was going to put this guy on here with a bearing in there. But then that doesn't leave, you really can't see anything. So I've instead got rid of 2 of these. I'm just going to have 2 of them like that, and then a piece that comes across holding a bearing down. So I'll mount these down, and that should work just fine. So I'm 3D printing, so I printed all these for nothing. I also printed a bunch of support pieces like this that were going to go in between here, not ones like this. This is too thin. But yeah, so I'm going to use 2 of these like this. Have a support beam going across with a 3D printed round area, very similar to this, with a bearing in there. It'll sit on top like that, and that should work just fine. So yeah, I did a lot of printing for nothing. I don't even think I'm going to use these, the hockey pucks. I mean, I might. Yeah, I think I'm going to use those just so I can have something to screw into. Let me see if I can get this guy set up. Yeah, so it'll be like this. Then there'll be a piece going across the top here, not like this, but you know what I mean. Screw down, bearing in the center there. And with this mounted here securely, that should hold that nice and straight like that. And then I'm going to probably have a platform for one here, for one coil. I mean, can't see because it's in a stand. One coil here, then one coil on the other side, so that I can run it off my dual JL94 circuit. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to even get this thing done today, because this hand of mine is really slowing me down. It was a real pain cutting this acrylic. Anyway, stay tuned. All right, so really quick, just to show you where I'm at. This is the setup I'm going for. But I'll have another, where is it? Oh, it's inside the house. I'll have another one like this over here. And I put a longer rod in there. And before I do all this, I got to make sure that I get everything parallel, 90 degrees. Because there is a little bit of play in it. But it shouldn't affect it too much. Yeah, that's going to come out pretty nice. Kind of weird, but a lot better than doing all this nonsense with this big old plate. At least this way I could see it. I did make a mistake. I should have made these hockey pucks. I put them on here, and I should have put them up to the very back of the stand, and they're already glued in with that acrylic glue, so there's no chance of getting them off. But I still should be able to get it buttoned up. All right, hopefully I can get this thing finished tonight. I don't think so, though. Stay tuned. All right, so here it is finished. And I wanted to make everything out of 3D printing except for the shaft, the bearings, and of course the coils. And the coils slide into these coil holders, if you will. And it all seems to come together pretty good. It's nice and level and steady, and I don't see any wicked vibrations or anything. I just got to get it hooked up now to a circuit, which I'll probably use, like I said before, the dual circuit. It's a little cockeyed up here, but that's because I glued in these support pieces and I didn't glue them in straight. That's all right. These are pressure fit in there and they're screwed down. And again, I'm using the coils from my smaller prototype Newman motor from RD3DP. So let me get the circuit hooked up and I'll bring you guys back. Stay tuned. Working good. A lot of good output. That's only 8 volts too. Let me turn it down a little bit because I don't have the, I mean, I'm 99.999% positive those bearings aren't, those magnets aren't going anywhere. But that's 7 volts. This is a great circuit. Let me turn it down again. There's 6 volts. That's working really nice. It's going a lot faster than what it's showing on the video. That's always the case. But there's not a lot of vibration, just a little bit. But that's to be expected. I mean, we're not talking, you know, half a thousandths. We're talking millimeter. And I'm using the Waco connectors that I got. This is not how they should be used, but I just wanted to hook it up quickly. So that's 6 volts. Let's see how low I can get it going. There's 4 volts. Not getting any output, so let's crank it up. There's 11 volts. Yeah, it's flying now. A lot of output. 12 volts. Yeah, I better not press my luck. Let's shut it off. Yeah, there's a little bit of vibration going. But that is kind of awesome. See how much torque we got. Ah, it's pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. That's a cool little, and it's completely self-contained on its own stand and everything. I'll have to get some more 1-inch magnets. Yeah, that's holding up good. As you can see, they're encapsulated inside, so it goes up about 3 millimeters. No, 4 millimeters that way, 4 millimeters that way, or 3. These coils are really nice. I didn't think they would perform as well as they did. I got to try the bigger coils on there. But that's all my poor hand can take today. I figured I can do modeling on the computer and kind of put some stuff together, but I can't do any crazy work out here. But I wanted to get something for you guys anyway, something for myself actually. I like it. It's weird, but I like it. All right, thanks for watching. Ciao.